Let's talk about this list. It's pretty straightforward. Body of Research, create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, where it has a number of counter cards equal to the cards in my library. And then what I do is I use Kazul's Fury to instantly sack it and dome you in the head. There it is. We have Cultivates to get the mountain. The Kazul's Fury is red. The Ketra Triumph is red, so that's how we cover our red. The rest of the deck is like... You solve the equation to get our puzzle pieces. Some low-end counters. A fog effect to prevent all damage. Of course we have 3 copies of Ugin just to make sure that we can, like, sweep the board if we're really in a tight pickle. Okay. Alright. Maybe we should be investing more heavily in those fog effects. Okay. Not a lot's going to be happening. We're about to get cracked in the teeth. This is okay. We welcome your bone crushing, Saynoida. Saynoda. We have found an axe. This is okay. Evercleave comes down on this turn, then that's hilarious. Ugh. Yeah, maybe I actually don't want any counter spells. I want only fog effects. Because I'm going to be ramping in the early turns, and in the later turns, I really need to stay alive. Because we're dead. Alright. Well, there's Eureka Moment. We've been eager to cast this card for a bit. I mean, by the way, the number one reason why we're struggling is that we're trying to do something that's far too extreme. Most of a Magic deck, when you're trying to make, like, a good list, is, like, about really gradual, slight value plays. Very small amounts of, like, in a control list. Oh my gosh, if you just have, like... Blue. Green. Blue. Like, if you look at some of the Jeskai lists that I've built that have actually, like, gone the distance to Mythic and stuff, like... Probably just Cultivate again. Like, the ones that have gone the distance to Mythic and stuff like this, I mean, they're like, really... Like, oh my god, Narset, the 4-mana Narset is like, oh, it's like so incredible. Oh, Jesus Christ. I get really excited about these seemingly meh kind of cards. But it's when you kind of have, like, a distributed value. It's actually the thing that you need to make a good deck work, or something like a mono green stompy list where you have like this sort of interesting curve that's trying to play into the consistency. A lot of the adventure decks. Good cat. Clean it up. Let's get our very first body. Or should we get saw it coming, huh? Probably saw it coming. Whoa, whoa, what's going on? Why are we crazy in the coconut, little one? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, so we saw it coming. My opponent Mystic disputes my saw it coming. Nice. Excellent. We won. Oh my god, yes. Perfect. Oh my god, here it is. Oh, I just would like to thank the Academy. Easy. It's perfect. It's perfect. I love how clean this is. But yeah, so like a lot of good decks will have a very sort of slight look to the cards where it's kind of funny when you look at some of, like, say for instance, Paulo Vitor Dama de Rosa's 2020 championship deck, like that he won the 2020 World Championship with. It had like one Dream Trawler in it, a shitload of card draw cards. You know, it just... It didn't really look like it did that much. But it's because you could draw and then discard the enchantment and then, like, reflicker the enchantment with the Teferi and then play it again. It's just, like, very, 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 very slight, tiny, long-term value plays. Is how most reasonable mid-range control and aggro lists look. And so that takes time to tune, and it's important, I think, if you're trying to make a good deck, not to do what we're doing today, which is just like, crackle of power, making me excited, body of research for a 53-53, like that. I mean, come on, it's fun as hell, but it's like, you know, the combo would need to be incredibly spiky. Like, literally, if you got the combo, you 100% of the time pulled it off, kind of thing. I have to play this first, because I need to have the available mana. Granular quality, what are you doing? Tormentor's Helm? Oh, dude, someone is here to have a good time. I literally played the wrong thing. I literally just played the wrong thing. That's incredible to me. That's incredible to me, truly. What an astounding achievement to have just literally clicked on the I'm the best player here. All y'all wish you could be me. But you can't, and that's too fucking bad. By the way, this is a bit of why I think it makes sense to do fog effects instead of counter spells. Because I'm tapping out all my mana in order to get my rampy stuff out. So I think having, like, some small amount of counterspell or counter magic for when I'm trying to do the combo is sensible. And also it's like a turn 2 play. But, woo. Somebody's here to bonk. Hey, that's my Kazul's Fury, you dick. Alright, well... So I can Eureka Moment into Saw It Coming, and that seems pretty good. You know, a banned control with Eureka Moment might be just unbelievable. Oh my god, oh my god! Chongli wins, says, what's your position on bidets? And Shadowcat responds, seated typically. I mean, that's spectacular. I mean, I can't thank you enough. What an answer. What an answer. Oh my goodness. Wow, I just Shadowcat. I don't even need to come up with my own content. I just read yours. I remember there was some business guy who was like one of those guys who like doesn't earn any money at all, which is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with not making a lot of money. I think that's actually quite normal. Unless you go around acting like you make all the fucking money. You know, like, I mean, like, just don't, dude, just don't. All you have to do is just don't, okay? Excellent. One, two, three, four, five, six, and then we need a 7, an 8, and a 9, huh? So if I do this, okay. So I can solve the equation to inspire some awe. Then we get there. Anyways, so this guy was just like, he was one of these, he like had a blazer and like a shirt that should be buttoned up into a tie, but he didn't have a tie and it was unbuttoned so you could like see a little too much chest hair. You know, and then he had this really like expensive khakis and shoes and shit. He was just like, oh yeah, dude, like day and night, I'm like wheeler dealer in this business space here of gaming and esports and broadcasting and all this stuff. And he explained the following to me. That I don't need to come up with content at all. If what instead I do is come up with a way for the users to, through donations, put messages up that I read and I just respond to them. Uh-oh. Huh. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess I can't do anything then. Yeah, but he explained this, and I just said, I'm not that interested in doing... I'd rather actually, like, make shows about the content that I'm interested in. And he goes... you know, that sort of, like, shaking head laughing, like, children. You know, like... I was like, well, okay, and Royal Eruption? No. How dare you? What? Alright. So if I do this, I don't have enough mana. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need to stop this turn. I need enough turns to, like, get enough mana to cast this stuff. And so I did something that, this is a good technique for any of you that are in a situation where you think that the person you're talking to might be full of shit. You don't go, you're full of shit. You know, here's the thing. 90% of the time, 100% of people are full of shit about the respective topic that they're talking about, and that's just normal. It's not evil or wicked or bad. It's just normal, and that's okay. All right. We need land. Oh goodness, for the sweat. Thank the stars. All right. Well, it's a land off the top or it's bust. Well, anyways, this nerd said that stuff. Hope my opponent just uses this turn. That'd be great. So I asked him, I was like, oh, so, like, what are channels that you've seen this work on? Or, like, talk to me a little bit more about, counterspell. Counter this. And so I asked him about it, and the more that I asked, the more that I just tried to get clarification as to what he was talking about. The more I discovered that he had not only never worked in the streaming space, but had not ever done this at all, ever. Look, we'll just draw the untapped land, and that'll be that. I did it. I've done it now. Do I have enough untapped landers? I mean, half the deck is land. It's fine. It's fine. Anyways, so this guy was explaining to me, just like, you leverage content by just reading shit that people say to you, and that's what the show is. And I think about that fellow sometimes. I think about him. Think about him sitting there just going, if only people just fucking listened. God, if only. Like, I think about him. Just being there and being... I think the Saw It Comings might be better suited to something else. Or are you talking to this jabroni? Well, often when you are... You know, you'll be working in the space. There'll be an event. There'll be, like, a party... And there's a bunch of people who are there who either work in the industry or we lost. Alright. Who, you know, work in the space or are interested in working in the space and have connection, yada, yada, yada. It's gonna be some time. I think I'm gonna go for the long term. Do this stuff. Okay, Speaker of the Heavens. Yeah, no, and I just think about this idea, like, I feel like this is a really common, like, holy shit, bro, I figured out the way, the future, bro, you know. This, like, unbelievable, over-eager excitement of, like, oh my god, you're not going to believe this. I've done it. I've figured out how to do business. And the answer is, it's an idea where, and this is the important part, I don't do any work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, these kinds of ideas. And I always get a little suspicious of that, like, well, I feel like, in my experience, doing businesses and doing businessy things is a lot of work. No, listen, check it out, Day 9, check it out, listen to me. I have the solution, it's just so good. Ugh. Day 9! So this is going to thin the deck just a little bit. Actually, what if I did this instead? That seems like a little bit better, doesn't it? Very well. We did it, we hit the sweeper. Can't believe this is working. You know, I guess we like only need Kazul's Fury, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have the 9. We have the 9, feeling fine. Oh my god, he's so divine. Oh, okay. Boom. I think we're onto something. I think we're onto something. I think we're onto something. I'm at 28. It's not enough. Oh, no. It's so cheesy. Wild Mule, a new sub, welcome to the channel. This is how we do shit here. This is how we get shit done over here in this channel here that I run over here. Oh, it is the level upon which the audio's busted. Ghosty says audio. Is it still busted? Yeah. The audio is substantially louder. Alright, so... And it's busted in a number of different ways. Where's Eureka moment? There she is. What's his character's name? Zimone? Absolutely bringing us the victories. I think Eureka moment is very nice. Alexander M. Ken says, how much money does it cost to go to a party where we pitch you dumb ideas about your channel? It costs either $5 or a Twitch Prime. Like, really whichever one you prefer. At which point you get direct access to me via a chat channel, and you get to post anything that you want as long as you're not spamming the same emote more than 7 times, because our bot will time you off. Time you off of this planet, baby. Yeah. So if any of you have any bad business ideas or good business ideas, I'd love to hear it. Now, I will tell you a philosophy that I have on business things, right? A generalized philosophy that I have is that the idea itself needs to be good, and then it needs to be executed on very well, which involves lots and lots and lots and lots of just motherfucking time, man. I think that I don't want to... Well, it doesn't really matter, huh? Welcome to Get Their City. Just a lot of grinding, a lot of time, a lot of exhausting, overburdening effort. Jukebox TV says, speaking of bad business ideas, would you ever consider doing some goofy collaboration with? And you name someone specific, but my answer would actually be the same for virtually any content creator. Which is, take for instance, if you wanted me to... What is it? Why are we meowing? No, you can't go outside. There's a giant dog out there. What are you, crazy? No, little one. I expect you to die. 1, 2, 3. Okay. My answer is the same for all of them, which is that it's just an enormous amount of time to, 1, figure out a rapport with that person, 2, figure out what the hell that you're actually going to do together, 3, figure out how the hell to make that actually good, which involves coming up with good rapport, you know, figuring out what the idea is and then starting to execute upon it, and then 4 is what you actually see on air. So... For instance, you know, let's take when I did a sponsored segment for the Amonkhet Remastered set with Nox and LSV. That actually just took a bunch of work. Get out of here. It took a lot of work. We had to first do some brainstorming back and forth in emails because it was like, hey, Sean, you know, let's figure out a cool promotional campaign that can be done. We had to think through that. We had to come up with a way to involve multiple people. Once we tried to come up with a way that would actually involve multiple people, if I can cast Seagate Restoration, I think I'd be happy. I expect that this will just get Binding of the Old Gads. We have to come up with a concept that would involve, you know, other people. There's a lot of ideas that just get chucked out, which is fine. That's the reality. Meow. Upon feeling like we had an idea that seemed good, and again, I want to stress there's a big difference between an idea that seems good and, like, making an idea, like, bring it into reality. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need 9. 1, 2, 3 green, 1, 2, 3, and then the other color doesn't matter. Sheriff, I need you to stop immediately. What a good cat. Upon doing that, we had to then reach out to other content creators. Who do we reach out to? People that I personally know, who I've interacted with for years. Take another peek. It's all good. Upon interacting with those people for years, then asked them about stuff. They had some feedback. We had to understand what their wishes, wants, and concerns were. Upon getting agreement to that, we then had to make some graphics. So we had to figure out who would make those graphics, what those graphics would look like. Then we had to do a tech test where we set aside some time for all these people to be able to sit down together and go through everything. Well, when it sucks, and that's the way that is. And then you get through some tech stuff, and then you make sure, okay, let's go through the show flow and how we're going to do this and all this stuff. And then you actually have to do it live, and doing collaborations live, it's not impossible, but, you know, it's work, it's stress. It's tricky. Because you're like, if I zone out for 15 seconds here, it's actually okay. Now, that's not a lot of time. I can't zone out for like 5 minutes. What? Yeah, that one goes back, dude. Take your dumb extra turn. I don't care. And then it's finally done. And then when you have done, like, that collaboration, you're not done. You actually still have to put on, or create some follow-up documentation, various other logistics like invoices. Which, again, is okay. It's not impossible. I'm just indicating that there's, like, a lot of work to do. If this gets countered, we're dead. But otherwise, we will get a 21-21 and shoot the other person in the face, and that'll be that. So a lot of times people will suggest that I do collaborations with, like, people that I don't know. And I'm just like, I mean, literally the amount of burden is just, like, so high, especially if it's not some sort of incredibly simple. Let's see here. So if we... That's a very cute answer. All right, so let's... I'm wondering if it might be beneficial to run a different kind of counterspell, but I think that I just needed to not counterspell till much later. all is to say, it's just a lot of work, and so unless there is... I mean, like, a simple way that I would do that is the money just makes sense. And the time just makes sense. And those are sort of like two sides of the same statement, right? If the money just makes sense, then great. Like, let's just pick a ridiculously huge number. If someone said, hey, Sean, I was wondering if you would be interested in doing an Age of Empires 2 collaboration with T90, where he would commentate you playing every Wednesday. He'd give you feedback afterwards, and then you'd play a 2v2 together, and we would trace your learning. You would need to come up with a curriculum. You need to explain how every Wednesday would be good, but you would need to do it every single Wednesday for the rest of the year. And I'll pay you $50 million to do that. I would be like, I'm an Age of Empires 2 player. I'd be like, yes, I will do that. A game that I enjoy playing, a person whose commentary I enjoy, structured educational content, which I like. Yeah, that's a shitload of work to try to come up with, like, how to make 50 Wednesdays compelling. But oh hell yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do that shit, man. Oh my god, will I do that stuff. Yeah. Conrad says, does the same level of work apply if another streamer just wants to have an on-stream chat about a topic of shared interest? Absolutely. Like 100%. I mean, like, it... So, you're doing something that I really respect, right? Which is you're saying, hey, I'm trying to come up with something that's easier. Be easy, right? Oh, God. Things that look easy are just, they're literally not. When it comes to a lot of content stuffs. So I'm going to do... Wow, I have just, like, so much Eureka action going on here. It's just, like, so much work. Because, I mean... Imagine if you took some just arbitrary content creator who's a perfectly lovely and reasonable person and just say, Sean, talk to this person and make it compelling. I believe that me and this, you know, random person we've mentioned could probably do something nifty. I betcha we could. Oh boy. Ugh, this situation sucks. Because they look like they're going to ultimatum next turn. And I really want to do this so I can get more of my shit going. I'm going to do it. I don't care if we just lose really bad. Villain's gonna ultimate him. More power to him. I think that if you took any two creators and put them together, on the spectrum of things that they could make from bad to great, I bet the great stuff they could make would be truly fantastic. I bet you that could happen, and it would just be amazing. I guarantee it. But the problem is, how do you guarantee that, like, you actually get to the great side as opposed to the dog shit side? Because making dog shit content is incredibly easy to do on accident. Yeah, take your turn. I don't even care a little bit. Emoigen ultimatum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ugh. Let's take a shitload of damage. Bang, bang, crack. Okay. Well, let's see what we're working with here. Ah, this deck is so good. Okay. Hey, that's not that bad. I'm going to say no to this one, because that anti-ramps me. Valky's going to come down, it can, like, minus X, and there's going to be a billion cards drawn, and, you know, this is fine.
Let fire rage in your heart, even the dead will suffer.
I almost feel like VTubers collaborate a lot more often than a regular streamer. I wonder what the dynamic makes that makes that more feasible. Sure, I can talk a little bit about that. The idea is, okay, take for instance me as a person. If you said, hey Sean, can you do educational content for thing X? I have done educational content on and off for 12 years and built my career doing it, and even did it before I was a streamer. Like, I have a built part of my brain that is devoted to that. Okay, so if I do this, I'm not sure how much more land I can put into a deck. But we have some of the pieces here that we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have that, like, built-in piece of my brain that's just good at doing that shit. Is there, I don't think there's any counters that I saw here, but villain has a counter, we obviously die. If you're someone who starts doing collaborations and, like, frankly, gets past all the terrible collaborations to where you start to understand and have a structured methodology around how you do collaborations, then it's not that person A is hanging out with person B and it's just working. Instead, it's person A has a giant series of possible formats, things they've done that have worked, things that they've done that haven't worked. Same for person number 2, and that's how you can line them up together. So, for instance, if I played any like multiplayer games that were team-based, simple way to have someone plug in. Alright, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We may win this yet. I'm not entirely sure how we managed to pull it off. So we would put our opponent right now to 6. Do I have any way to remove the Vorinclex? I feel like it's just Ugin. This is so funny. I don't think I have a single way to deal with this idiot. Ugh. Well, let's fling for a small amount. You hate to see it. I'm just gonna let it come out. So let's actually think about this for a little bit. Let's actually think about this. No, I hated it. It's terrible. Let us see here. Waiting for Sherver. Some of that big body. I actually am not feeling Eureka Moment as much. I'm just having some awkward costs for stuff. I just feel like we're kind of just coming out the gate a little slow. I think I'm just going to focus a little bit more heavily on the combo. Because the thing is, if I needed counter spells, I'd put them in the sideboard. Well, this looks nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. A Darabero. It's good old Darabero. Just as a specific question, but does anyone know how I can find the music MTGA plays when you're in the deck building UI? I never even thought about doing that. That's actually pretty cute. Alright, so I think I'm starting to really get a feel for this dumb deck. I think we're really getting a feel for stuff. You hate to see it. But this is actually worth it because it's like removal that we don't really care particularly hugely about. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This and this. Bam. Okay, so then, does this play... You would just put a land out? Okay, so we might even be able to Tangled Florhedron. Can you put a modal dual-face land in from Eureka Moment? You cannot. You cannot. And that actually might be something that's hurting us a bit. I might even remove the Sea Gates to make sure that we have like enough basics and enough stuff that's just like, hi, I'm a land. Hear me, rower. Okay, so let me do this first, because then we can put 2 lands down. Okay. Alright. Oh my god. Shit. Okay. Alright. How many of these? These are nymphs? Okay. Blade Historian. Did we die? Close. Very close. Okay, Drats. It appears that we have died. Okay. And I expect that this is how this thing will go. Yeah, Test the Talents would be a good sideboard card, specifically for this deck, specifically against ultimatums. And to speak with sincerity about what I ranted about fantastically in the card review, is that Unmoored Ego, Necromentia, and Test of Talents are a category of cards that are unbelievably niche in their use and are, broadly speaking, weak cards. I would equate it to something like a card that says destroy all creatures that cost 10 or more. And exile them. And imagine it costs 1 mana. It's like... I mean, I recognize that it does meritful stuff. in hyper-specific situations, but I would be remiss to call it a good card. Anagram says, I believe that Eureka Moment does work with modal lands. It's correct, correct. It's the front side needs to be a land. Because it's not that you may play an extra land, it's just you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. Maul me softly. I think the Seagate restorations need to go, because I don't think I'm ever really going to use them ever, and I really want, with Eureka Moment, for that to be a playable. Yeah, a bunch of shit happens, I don't care at all. I think we should win this particular matchup, like, basically every time. I make'd a mistakey. I should play the other one, but that's okay. This will buy us some turns. Inspired Awe does nothing right now. Dude, Lloyd Smith, you're killing me, man. You're killing me, Lloyd Smith. I'm not trying to cast it this turn. You're killing me, Lloyd Smith. I already have the fog effect. Read it. I mean, it's useless. What? Oh my god, except by enchanted creatures and enchanted creatures. Oh my god. It doesn't do... It literally does nothing at all. Oh my god, this card sucks. Oh my god. Alright, I quit this deck. This deck's terrible. Let me actually... I'm going to do one set of changes. I'm going to do one set of changes. Ay. Alright, let's... I'm going to remove these Seagate restorations, because I think it's kind of messing with our mana, like, a lot. I think I just want more untapped lands. I think this is, like, kind of what I want to do. This is just instants and sorceries, huh? I mean, it's... There's something to be said about how powerful a pop you can get by just finding what you mean. Just says Fog's been phased out of Magic so hard. I think that's correct. I think that Fog is a really dangerous mechanic in the game, to be honest. Alright. Alright. Probably just Tangled Florahedron turn 1. Probably, plausibly. Litterdogs says, Newbie, what's Fog? Fog is a term for... this is maybe really bad on my part, but Fog is a term for prevent all combat damage. Vic HD ZV says, why don't you try Body of Research plus Fling? If you select the deck list in the top corner, you will see that this is the list. And if you're asking why not the specific card Fling as opposed to the Fling land, it's that this is a land. Okay, so we can do Cultivate. And we can go bang, bang. Good. Oop. I think I still want to hang on to it. Isn't Fling cheaper? It's 2. Yeah, it is 2. And that might actually be what we need, but I just so strongly prefer to have the thing that actually gives the land. This is a sorcery speed, so I'm actually going to do this right now. Welp. We're going to get some turns. This is actually quite good. Wait, Fling is legal? I think so. As far as I know, it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so... Stomp cancels out Fogs, though. Yeah. Yeah, it is as though the designers of this game figured out how to make their game better by removing the key thing that we were trying to make good. Thwart the enemy! I kind of want to return to the Prismari list. That was, like, fun as hell. Ah, yes, our deck functions well when we actually cast Ugin. I found the weak point. It's not Ugin. I did it, I exiled everything! Excellent. Perfect. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's fine. I think that, like, Robber the Rich plus buff is what kills us. Pest deck when? Certainly tomorrow, Jordel. Certainly tomorrow. It's true, I have another one. Oh, strive for balance, bro. Do I think bounce spells could be more useful than the fog effects you're running? Probably not. Fog effects, we just had this turn, dude. We literally just had this turn, man. That's close. Alright. I'm excited to die. I'm like really looking forward to it. Whoops. There is an alternative way to do this list. There is an alternative way to do this list. Maybe we should give it a shot. Perfect. We did it. Yeah. The deck is singing. Yes. Woohoo. Oh. I love the taste of hot plasma in the morning. The deck is great.